Good evening. So, today I've come up with another video from the Indian Contract at 1872, which talks about when is communication of acceptance completed. As soon as the communication of acceptance is complete, a contract comes into being, whereby both the parties becomes bound. So, first, this is actually the concept which comes in the later stage, that what happens after the communication of acceptance is complete. Before that we will understand when it is complete, but as it is written, so let us understand that as soon as the communication of acceptance is complete, the offer becomes a promise, and both the parties become bound to it. Okay. In case the parties to the contract are present at the same place, one making the offer and the other communicating the acceptance, both the parties become bound immediately. If one makes an offer and the other accepts the offer, it becomes a promise, and then they are bound by the contract. That's what it says. The problem arises when the parties are at different places and the communication of offer and acceptance is made by post or telephone. So if both the parties are at the same place, there is no problem in the acceptance of the offer, because both the parties can see each other. One makes an offer, the other will either accept it or they will not accept it. If they accept it, it becomes a contract, it becomes a promise. But the problem arises when they are not at the same place, and the communication is of offer is made by either by post or by telephone. So now let's see what happens when the communication of the proposal is made by post or telephone. Section 4 of the Indian Contract Act explains the following rules when the communication of acceptance is made by the post or telegram. So section 4 of the Indian Contract Act tells us uh, about the rules when the communication of acceptance is made by the post or telegram. It is not communication of the proposal. Please pay attention. It is communication of acceptance, because our topic is when communication of acceptance is completed. It is not communication of proposal. Communication of proposal we have already covered in our previous video. So the communication of acceptance is complete as against the proposer when it is put in the course of transmission to him so as to be out of the power of the acceptor. So for example, A sends a letter inviting him. A sends an offer through post to B. B has received the letter and B has accepted the proposal. So it becomes a promise. The moment B will send his letter of acceptance by post and it is out of reach of B so as to revoke it, the communication of acceptance is complete as against the proposer. So the communication of acceptance against A is completed. The communication of acceptance is complete against the acceptor when it comes to the knowledge of the proposer. Now, when the proposer receives the letter of acceptance, at that time, the communication of acceptance is completed against the acceptor. That means after this, um, the acceptor has no scope of revoking the proposal. Okay. It has been noted above that communication of acceptance is complete against the proposer when the letter of acceptance is posted to him. I've already said this. The moment the letter of acceptance is posted, the offerer becomes bound. So when the acceptor has decided that he will accept the offer and the letter of acceptance he has posted, it is out of his reach, now the proposer can no more revoke his proposal. This is what section 4 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 says. The moment the letter of okay, he becomes bound immediately on the posting of the letter to him, and it makes no difference that the letter is delayed in transit, or even or it is even lost in the post and the offerer never receives it. It doesn't matter whether it is lost in the transit. Once the acceptor has posted the letter, it is deemed that the communication of acceptance is completed against the proposer. Okay, so this is all about when the communication of acceptance is complete. So I hope you understood. The basic thing is that communication of acceptance is completed first against the acceptor and first against the proposer and second against the acceptor. For proposer, it is completed when the letter of acceptance is posted by the acceptor. For the acceptor, the communication of acceptance is complete when it comes to the knowledge of the proposer, the letter of acceptance that is posted by him. It's very simple. So as this video is of only 5 minutes and it is about to be 6 minutes, we'll also try to cover revocation of offer in this video. Okay, revocation of offer. Okay, it is only after the acceptance of an offer that there arises a contract, and then both the parties become bound by their respective promises. We have already read. Before the offer has been accepted, it can be revoked. Before the acceptance, the offer can be revoked, but not after the acceptance. After an offer has been accepted, it ripens into a contract. We have already read that once a proposal has been accepted, it becomes a promise and it becomes a contract and cannot be revoked. But before the acceptance, an offer can be revoked. Now, what does Section 5 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 says? A proposal may be revoked at any time before the communication of its acceptance is complete, as against the proposer, but not afterwards. So, in the previous video, we have already understood when um, the communication of acceptance is completed as against the proposer. We have already understood in the last video. Now Section 5 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 states that at any time before the communication of its acceptance is complete against the proposer. That means before the time of the sending of the letter of acceptance by the acceptor, an offer can be revoked, because once it is out of the reach of the acceptor, the communication of acceptance is complete as against the proposer, we already known. So an offer can only be revoked when before the communication of acceptance is completed as against the proposer, not after this. Okay, the general principle governing resignation is that in the absence of a legal, contractual or constitutional bar, a prospective resignation can be withdrawn. Okay, this is not that important. Okay, so I think briefly this is all what it says. So Section 4 of the Indian Contract Act, it talks about the communication of acceptance, and Section 5 of the Indian Contract Act, it talks about the revocation of offer. I hope these concepts are clear. If there is any problem in this concept, or maybe I have explained in a wrong way, if that is the situation, please feel free to comment and I will try to correct myself. I hope you're liking my videos. Please encourage me by liking the videos and subscribing my channel so that I can make more videos, and please give comments of how I can improve my videos or if there is any mistake in my concepts. Thank you so much, friends. Enjoy your life. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.